There it goes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So I thought the Lieutenant Jr. We just got done doing the arena match. Later on, I will be doing an upstream of that because I had basically ended. Not sure what actually was doing for some reason. Even though I had ended the last stream, that according to the YouTube thingy here, it says it was still watching and still following. So I had to force exploit and force the one webpage site that I streamed to. I had to force them both to close and everything else. So I'm going to be doing an upload later on that, how he did this, everything else. But, Aaron's on here as well. We're about to take a look at this development log and really kind of go into details. Because, like I said, it's Project Genesis, no doubt about it. Aaron?
Well, it's not directly Project Genesis, although it's definitely very close. There's a lot of neat information if you really read into what they're talking about in this blog. So we're about to go into that, and just for all those Klingons out there at the arena, I would have made it to 100 if I had like a year to fight in the stupid thing.
Yeah, because apparently what happened was you have to get to at least grade 5, and then you'll get the little token thing. And then we had players like, okay, I got what I need, goodbye, and literally left our match. And then I kept dropping
All
towards,
right.
so I think that's what kept, holding on to each round. But there's trigger points on the map that you have to go to to trigger the next wave. Well, anyway,
Right.
like I said, just be looking to an upload. I'll be doing that later on tonight, and you'll see the result, just everything else. But this one, me and Aaron really get into these little development logs. Now, this one is
They're
not
really cool.
from, huh?
They're really cool.
Yeah, they are. And Brain Drain, you need to read these more often. Brain Drain had no idea what these was, so he don't read them. He just like, okay, whatever, that's boring looking, and then closes them. He don't look at them. Shame on you, Brain Drain.
It gives you so much backstory that you miss.
And a lot of my clues, if you want to know why I get so well on picking my clues and knowing where it's going, a lot of these will give you the clues, and if you pay attention to the storyline, what's going on, and read these with those, type missions and everything else, a lot of my clues are coming from here, so I already know what's coming ahead.
And we make a lot of really good guesses based off of things like you had the best one
Yeah, the
was
bad idea guy?
you had the envoy figured out.
Yeah. I mean, reading one of those, I forget what's going on, that they made the comment about how, they're going in time and having the perfect shit for it. So when he made that comment, at the time, the only person who had a time jumping capable ship was the bad idea shit that Nog, Big Ears created, which we still need to, fucking plug his ears for. So when he made
Now
that comment, I was like,
forget
okay,
Nog.
bad
Let's
idea
get rid
shit.
of Hadron. Forget Nog. Let's get rid of Hadron because he's been a pain in the ass.
Yeah, he has.
Hadron's in this blog, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get to him.
Yeah, are you ready?
Yep.
Alright, so, oh crap, I didn't start the clock.
That's okay. Just keep moving. I'll keep an eye on things.
Alright. Alright, so, blah blah blah, opening a loan, just everything else.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead, because you tend to read a little bit better and faster.
Sure. All right. I'm gonna read the whole thing front to end. Are you sure you do that?
Yeah, let's do it, because like I said, there's a few clues in here, and I definitely, me and Aaron's going to be pointing on them, so when we get to those clue areas, you'll see what I'm talking about, but there's a lot in here.
All right. So we have April 13th, 2399. Now, Jimmy, do you remember what year Star Trek Online started?
It was 2409, I thought, on the correctly.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was 2409. So we already know from the very beginning of this, just from that date, that this happens before Star Trek Online started as a game, and there will be more clues to that as I read. So I'm going to read first, and then Jimmy and I will talk about what we've got. Okay? Ready?
Ready.
Alright, so duty report. Zenkethi Starship Fearless. Arn Zen Tarak commanding. Orbiting inhabited moon in Zen designated system Harith. Local designation Lucari Prime. We await the return of diplomat Shra Zen Darut here to initiate official contact between the Zenkethi and the Lucari people. Should they prove worthy, we will extend an offer of alliance to them. If they prove hostile, I suspect that the Autarch will extend another kind offer to them, albeit a far less pleasant one. The world around him went dark for a moment as Captain Arn Zantarak initiated virtual conferencing with his command staff. A moment later, he joined avatars representing each of his command staff with a virtual meeting chamber. Several of the officers were enjoying the latest scuttlebutt, and that's rumors, ladies and gentlemen, circulating in the fleet. So, the Klingons have invaded Gorn space. Intel suggests the Federation won't join them. It could be the end of their pathetic partnership at last. Unlikely, the Grainators and the Federation won't dare risk open war with their Klingon attack dogs. Someone's feelings might get hurt. As jovial laughter filled the chamber, Xantarak cleared his throat audibly. That's enough, gentlemen. Let's get to it, the captain said somewhat impatiently. We'll begin with the tactical assessment. Across the darkened virtual field, the avatar of tactical officer, I'm going to call him Gulgas, moved to a central position and brought up several data files for all to review. They're of little to no threat to us, Captain, and he's talking about the Lucari here. Their military, such that it is, exists purely as a defensive force. They have no space-worthy fleet, though they have established a primitive but effective warp drive platform. If necessary, one of our Class 3 combat arrays could bring this world to its knees in approximately 22 solar days. Class 3 Golgus, recruits only. The higher class arrays have more pressing matters, Captain. Besides, the young have to learn sometime. Better to blood them on this backwater than Earth or Kronos. Xantarak allowed himself to smile at those words. Well, Gulgas, I don't think such an action will be necessary, the captain replied. The Lucari don't appear to be interested in conquest or expansion, unlike the Klingons of the Federation. Science Officer Prolt moved to the center of the chamber. With a nod, he claimed the right to speak from Gulgas, who returned to the perimeter with the other officers. There's something you should see, all of you. It may adjust your threat assessment. Xantarak arched his eye ridges in mild surprise. Don't keep us in suspense. Speak. Prolt called up the aerial footage of nearby moon. A gray barren coastal region on the surface filled their field of vision. Gulgas grunted with annoyance. Autarch, save us. They have a mud field. Surely we'll need to muster every standing legion to deal with. The tactical officer was cut off as a roar filled the virtual space around the avatars. A brilliant energy detonation took place at the center of the field. Vibrant energy began to rapidly spread in all directions a second later. Wherever the energy flowed, the gray was replaced by green. Barren ground became verdant and fertile, all in a matter of moments. As the officers stared in astonishment, Captain Xantarak regarded his science officer with cold, emotionless calm. Tell us what we just witnessed, Prolt. That, Captain, was a controlled protomatter detonation.
Protogenesis.
Yeah. Protomatter, the captain said. We've been working on such technology ourselves, haven't we? It was my understanding that our researchers weren't getting far with it. A few small detonations in laboratory conditions, nothing more. Correct, Captain. As you can see, the Lucari have remarkably better results. Boss, so the Lucari can make their ugly mud ball less offensive to the eyes, scoffed Gulgas. I tremble before this revelation. Prolt turned his face to the tactical officer slowly, a look of contempt clear upon his face. And tremble you should, tactical officer. A protomatter detonation annihilates all living matter present within its blast area and replaces it with a new organic matrix. Completely? Utterly.
Project Genesis.
Yes, Jimmy. You have just witnessed technology that once struck the fear into the heart of the Klingon Empire, Project Genesis, and the Lucari use it for terraforming. What of it? If provoked, the Lucari could use protomatter to destroy an entire Zenkethi legion and replace it with a field of flowers, all in the time it took to say those words. The virtual chamber was silent for some time. Open a private channel to the diplomat, said the captain. I have new instructions for her. Madrin took a sip of Tranya to calm his nerves.
Alright, now before we go any further,
Yep.
the guy that Aaron's about to talk to, you need him a few times. You use the Frangie when you do the Romulan mission, and you have to go down into the lines. That is the third time you need him. Then you need him again when you do the very first Lakari mission, and you're talking to the Lakari lady for the first time, and she's talking to a Frangie ship. When you do that third Lakari mission, that Frangie ship is him and his ship, and as we go through, you'll see.
You meet him one other time.
Yeah, but when you get to
you also meet him when you get the piece of Krenim artifact that helps Nog lead you to the Krenim world.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm trying to lead up. So, you remember the very first Lakari mission, and you walk there, and you see the Frangie ship, you see the Lakari ship, she's talking to the Frangie, and she makes the comment, well, he's kind of an odd character. That Frangie ship is actually him, and as Aaron read through, this fills in. This is the timeline for this situation here. So go ahead, Aaron.
Yep, and remember, this is still years before what we experience in that episode, so they're just starting to get underway. Madrin took a sip of Tranya to calm his nerves. Now, Tranya, if you remember, is the stuff from the First Federation in the original series episode, the Corbinite Maneuver. Dealing with the Zenkethi was often a stressful activity, no matter how much Latinum was involved. He put on his best Ferengi negotiation smile as two Zenkethi officers beamed into the private meeting room. Still smiling, he stood to greet them, the 60-second rule of acquisition on his mind. The riskier the road, the greater the profit. Gentlemen of Zenketh, welcome. I trust your journey here was a pleasant one. Ferenginar is lovely this time of year, is it not? The only response was an audible rumbling in one of the Zenkethi leader's three stomachs. Three stomachs, you got that? Who needs pleasantries, eh?
Eating all the time. Then again, they have turtles, so what do you expect?
They have one less stomach than a cow.
Yep.
Who needs pleasantries, eh? Business. That's what we're here for, and business it shall be. Madrin silently vowed to thank the merchant who sold him the denobulant antiperspirant. Sweating in front of the Zenkethi was not a good negotiation tactic. The uncomfortable silence that followed that remark ended with when the alien leader cleared his throat to speak. About time, thought Madrin, beginning to wonder if these brutes were going into hibernation. We'll hear about your report on Lucari protomatter technology, the biggest Zenkethi growled. Oh, of course. But first I'd like to mention a few opportunities in the were you able to require it? Speak. Certainly, your largeness, but now. Madrin swallowed nervously. Well, if you insist. You won't like it, though. Speak quickly or it will be you who does not like the situation. All right, relax. I can see you like to get to the point, so long story short, no deal. What? They won't sell for any reason. Believe me, I gave them a lot of reasons to choose from. That tech's a license to press Latinum. The licensing rights alone could earn enough money to buy a moon. But they dug their heels in. Madrin shifted in place uncomfortably. Terribly sorry, my very large, dangerous friends, but this deal's a bust. Surprisingly, Madrin was not the target of the Zenkethi beam weapons on the highest setting. We anticipated this outcome based on our ambassador's initial assessment of the Lucari morality, the Zenkethi leader said calmly. We have a new proposal for you, Ferengi. Madrin cringed. And what would that be, your immensity? The Zenkethi commander looked down at him silently for a few seconds, probably wondering if I'll taste better, grilled or fried, thought Madrin, as the alien antiperspirant failed at last. We want you to acquire data on their protomatter technology through non-conventional means. A smile slowly spread over Madrin's face. Of course, but yes, it's going to be very costly. Lucari, while they're not overly fond of me and their data forts are notoriously stout, getting to that information will take some doing. The Zenkethi leader handed Madrin a pad with financial proposal displayed upon it. It was all Madrin could do to avoid shrieking with greedy delight when he saw the final figures. I believe we have a deal, gentlemen, the Ferengi managed to mutter as visions of gold-pressed Latinum swam in his mind. I'll be in touch. Staff of the Nagus, he said after the Zenkethi beamed out of the chamber. I'll have enough money for my own ship after this. Yes, Daemon Madrin has a nice ring to it. The Ferengi seem pleased, Captain. Science Officer Prolt turned to face his commanding officer as they beamed on board the Fearless in orbit over Ferenginar. I thought he was going to faint. Zentarok nodded in agreement. Greed motivates such creatures strongly. Our profile indicates that Madrid will be able to deliver the data to us within a month's time. Once we have it, we'll be able to make a breakthrough on our own protomatter technology, and we won't be using it for terraforming projects, I assure you. Prolt ground his teeth nervously, and then what? Using a protomatter weapon will not go unnoticed by the Federation or the Klingons. They'll surely see it as an act of war. We face a crisis greater than both the Federation and the Empire combined. You know this, Prolt. You've read the same reports I have. Every day we lose ground, but with a protomatter weapon that ends. With it, we regain our primacy. Zenketh will stand alone supreme. If there's anything left of Zenketh to stand, there will be. Delivering this technology to the Autarch will bring new prestige to me and my crew. In the Admiralty, I can guide the fleet to victory far better than the hidebound, toothless fools that run things now. And what of the Autarch? Said Prolt as they reached the captain's quarters. There's only room for one upon the seat of power. Indeed, replied the captain as the doors to his quarters opened. I'd say that seat would be well deserved by the man who single-handedly saved Zenketh from certain doom, wouldn't you, Prolt? Prolt could only nod in silent agreement as the captain took his leave. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a fantastic story.
Yes, it was.
Alright, let's break that down,
Alright,
Jimmy.
so let's break it down. Okay, now, as you see there, we first meet the Ferengi. He's trying to get the deal. Yeah, they're cracking the deal. Now, if you all remember, crap. Which one was it that had the Genesis, the Klingons, and Captain Kirk's son in it?
Well, that would be... You're thinking of Search for Spock. You're thinking...
Yeah, the reason why I bring that up, ladies and gentlemen, if you remember, the smugglers, I guess I'd call them, the smugglers, who managed to get the info, just everything else, and you had that one Klingon lady, I guess she was in love with the Klingon, just everything else, and she named the comment, yes, I'd seen it, yes, transferred the thing, and supposedly they transferred the info, collect the credit, just everything else, but then the Klingon captain turned around, and it's like a true Klingon, blew up the ship, but because she, I guess, dilated the Klingon trust or something, she died as a Klingon. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. She knew it was coming, but she basically took it like a Klingon and...
Yeah. That she's like, yes, you're not Lord, you're not Lord. Go out there and serve the Klingon Empire proudly. But basically, it's the whole Project Genesis, just everything else. It's all over again. Now, timing-wise to the game now, which is interesting.
Yeah. Timing-wise, this story takes place before Star Trek Online is active. So before we start out, because at the beginning, first you see the date. The date we know is about 20...
Yeah, 2399. Now, technically, the game technically
we started in 2409. That's 10 years before Star Trek Online.
Yep.
And also another good sign of that is at the beginning when they're talking about how the Klingons invade the Gorn. Because the Klingons had already invaded the Gorn, and the Gorn were already a part of the Klingon Empire by the time Star Trek Online started.
Yep, and then when you start the game, if you remember, that's when you go to that one area, you're dealing with a bunch of Gorns, and if you talk to that one Gorn captain, he tells you the Klingon Empire sent him and his whole Gorn armada in there to try to give the Federation a beatdown, did that not before the Klingon Empire comes in.
Alright.
They were basically cannon fallers to the Klingons, basically.
Yep. Shock troops, just like the Remans and the Jem'Hadar. Old shock troops.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
And I
So,
do have to make this comment right here. Grain eaters, I guess they had never seen an American eat a hamburger, which, by the way, is a meat product, not a grain.
there are vegetarians in the Federation.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah. So the there's some really cool things happening here. We find that they're talking about trying to reach out to the Lucari. They're trying to either gain an alliance with the Lucari or to invade them.
Well, this
Um,
other group that they mentioned, where was it? I'm guessing, are they fighting with that other group?
what other group? Because they haven't actually in this story they haven't actually named who they're fighting with. Um, but
Oh, the ones leading?
The Zenkethi are in trouble. The Zenkethi are in a fight and they're looking for any way to come out on top. Basically, they find out that the Lucari here, who are not selling their protomatter technology, um, they find out that the Lucari are actually
Yeah, right
capable
there.
of
Very first paragraph.
controlling
Very thirst. Yeah, we're trying to send out what's it called? Yeah, and that no, should they prove worthy, we'll send them an author's alliance. But if they prove hostiles, then I suspect that the Atarc, Autarch,
Autarch.
will send
The
another
Autarch
planet offer to
is
them, which will be less pleasant.
um, the Autarch is basically you want to think of it like a king. Um,
Oh, they're the king of those people. Oh, okay.
the
That
Autarch
just
is their
changed this, and
leader.
I thought, okay, this must be another race.
Yeah, the Autarch is their leader.
Oh, okay. I thought that was another race or something that they were dealing with, and now it's the name of the race that they were beating the crap out of them. Well, then that
Yeah, an
reminds me,
autarch is considered an absolute, by definition, it's an absolute ruler. So kind of like a dictator. So they have a leader that has all the power. Um, and
Alright, well,
that's part of what that little last bit at the end was about. Was he was like, well, if I can win this fight with these people who we don't know who they are, then this guy thinks he can become the autarch and control things and run things his way. But we don't know who they're fighting. We know that they're losing, and we know that when they learn that Lucari can control protomatter, they're like, we can use this, and they've been trying to get it. And now, where we are in this storyline, they have the controlled technology that they need. We don't know what Madrin did, but Madrin got them the information somehow.
yeah, he probably looked like that smuggler who somehow
So, do
stole
you
the
have Jimmy?
information.
So, I mean, that's pretty much it with this. We find out that the Zenkethi are trying to get the Lucari to share their scientific achievements one way or another. Through deceptive means by the end of it there, because they're getting the Ferengi to do their dirty work for them. Um,
Exactly.
they want to they want Zenketh to be the center of the universe, basically. So they want their world to be in charge of everything.
And
Um,
pretty much had
but
everybody else here.
they're not strong enough to take on like the Federation or the Klingons on their own. Um, and they are not strong enough to hold up against whatever they're fighting with. Now, this could be any number of things, because at that time in the storyline, we were dealing with Undine, we were dealing with Borg, we were dealing with Iconians to a degree, because the Iconians were
Yeah.
kind of controlling things in the background.
Yep.
We were dealing with the Mirror Universe. We were dealing with the envoy and his temporal stuff, to a degree, again, because time travel is weird. But so these people that the Zenkethi are fighting could be anyone. Now, when the Zenkethi were first brought up, they were brought up in the I think it was a two-part episode of Deep
Yeah, it
Space Nine,
was. Yeah, the two part.
um, where basically the Dominion was trying to trick the Federation into getting into a fight with the Zenkethi, so that the Zenkethi would go to war with them and make it harder for the Federation to keep fighting. Or for the Federation Klingon and eventually Romulan alliance to keep fighting. Um,
I was
so,
kind of wondering, looking at the timeline here.
hmm,
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, now science and pertinent now then put into new frontiers. Um, you don't think, following the top timeline, that still builders and all of them is somehow pushing it and they're going to become the new enemy?
I don't think so, because I think the Sphere Builders part is done. I think we understand now who the Sphere Builders are, where they came from. We've pretty much dealt with them. Now, the Mirror Universe is still an option. Admiral Lita's still out there. It could be the Mirror Universe of the Zangethi for all we know.
Yeah, because she did make that one comment about my friend from the future don't tie up her weapons. She
Well,
disagreed
they're
like
her
a
friends
woman.
from the future were like the on, because she's
Yeah,
the
and
one
the
who brought
bad
him.
idea guy.
Yeah, the envoy was the guy who brought her the Odyssey. Um, but yeah. So any thoughts, Jimmy, on who would be fighting?
Well, like I said, at first I kept thinking it was that Ontrock because it kept saying that name, and I didn't
Oh, you were thinking
put
about
two
the
and two
Autark.
together.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that's a king of them. So every
Yeah.
time I saw that name,
So
okay, that's the
the
evil people. Who are these people?
yeah the Autark is their absolute ruler. So a king, a dictator, something to that effect.
Alright, well, I guess let's put down. Okay, so this is basically before the game kind of got started. When the
Hmm.
game started, you had to deal with the Undines, just everything else, because you saw the Klingons were chasing the Undine. We had no idea who this Undine is, just didn't know until he go to the Vulcan place.
Gem.
Yeah, cause to them, and when he basically transformed, that's gonna look like, oh my god, we've got Undine to deal with, and everything else.
And
And
then the
pretty much for the
Klingons were like,
first,
"See, we told you."
yep, big time. But if you kind of figured, yeah, the game for the longest time, we kept dealing with the Arcanians and the Undines, even though we wouldn't really. I mean, we saw the Undines here and there in some places, because they would, you'd able to force them out of their disguises and then they would run away. Whereas the Arcanians, we really didn't see until the Arcanian Wars came around.
Right.
No, I take it back. We kind of saw them on the Klingon side, but the ones they used on the Klingon side were not the Iconians. They were. Oh hell, I forget. The Klingons had a funny name to them, like the Ghost of the Evil or something. That's what they get. And you switch to the Klingon side. These guys. Uh, FEK attached to the. Get that
Oh,
down.
the Fekleri. Yeah, we fought them in the arena just a minute ago.
Yep. So now a lot of people thought this was the Iconian because for a long time a lot of the animation was used by these guys. Now when the game got revamped, especially when you saw The Romulan Sheila who gets, or her shit gets, got caught in a tragedy, and the Iconian shit pulls it away and takes off with it. In the original game, you had one of these ghost ships come out, grab her, and then pull her into the thing to disappear. But then it then changed to where the Iconian shit shows up and grabs. But for the longest time, a lot of people are like, yeah, these are Iconians. Did you see the name not Iconian, it's these gone. And it finally got proved that these guys were just cannon dollars to the Iconians. So there is a lot that, went to work to the Iconians. Okay, and here's the Iconian storyline. So the only problem is Iconians can't time travel. Something about them, they cannot time travel.
Yeah, no, they can't time travel.
Yeah, because I'm looking on the Coordinate. I still got to do the last three stories of the Iconian War. So, who do you think it might be?
I don't know. It could be someone we haven't met yet. But whoever it is, they're kicking the Zinkethi's butt. And because the Zenkethi were getting desperate.
Right. Well, you gotta take it. I mean, if this blog. Oh, hello, welcome to the game stream. I've got three people watching the stream, so hello. We're talking
Awesome.
about the new blog. Can you hear
So
me
yeah,
all
ladies
right?
and gentlemen, if you have any idea about who you think the Zankethi might be fighting against, go ahead and leave them in the comments, so that we can see what you guys think. Because the Zankethi are clearly having a hard time. And of course, because we're trying to stop them from using protomatter, we're giving them a harder time. um, so I bet there's going to be something really awesome coming down. Because they have, usually when they do these like featured episode segments, there's lots of developer blogs like this to give you little clues and hints here and there. They did it a
Yep.
lot with the Toss storyline. Um, they did a whole lot with the Toss storyline.
Well, like I
And
said, that's why I keep wondering. And then we had that one group that won up the head and tied and did
I don't
everything
know.
else
What
and
do you
all.
think? Do you think? Because we had some theories that the crystalline entity might be involved, because the same crystals were present on every planet that they tested their protomatter bomb on.
Yeah, and that's true.
Um,
And like you said, you're thinking that like these deities, and somehow when they
maybe.
become an adult, they're able to break away from the planet and start traveling space like the crystal entity is.
Right. Well, and I suppose that it's a possibility. What do you think? After reading this, do you think it still might be related to the crystalline entity, or do you think we might be looking at something different?
Well, the only thing is, I still think it might be the crystal entity because, there is really no backstory, and I don't remember.
Mm,
Now, there's a lot of Star Wars books I have read, as well as comic books, but I don't remember seeing any or reading any about the crystal entity. I just remember, yeah, that one
I
scene with,
don't think there's only two episodes where you in Star Trek: The Next Generation. There's only two episodes where you actually see the crystalline entity. The first one is
yeah, Data where the authorities like gets put together, whatever, this everything else, and the whole planet then wiped out. And if I don't remember correctly, I think Jody was like somehow walking around, that he kept taking a deacon of some
Well,
sort.
that's where they. It was Lore. Lore was luring them around. That's how they. That was the episode when they found Lore.
Oh, I take it back. Okay, yeah, because I know the one they found the thing, they put it together, and it turned out to be an android. And then you had the other one where you had the crazy female doctor that because Data had all these doctors that got killed by the crypto entity had somehow like did a an imprint upload or whatever to Data. So Data had all these doctors, all of these things, but the doctor's like, talking their son's voice, talking their son's voice. So he would, yes, I am your son, yes, and do these records, that like Star Trek logs, that it would be the son, doctor's log, blah, blah, And then at the end, the doctor's like, okay, now we're going to kill this thing. And, I just looked over and instead of seeing Data, I forget the son's name. So she said the son's name to Data. And she said, I did it to you. I loved you forever, blah, blah. And that's when Data's like, she split. She's lost her mind. Because Data being Data didn't understand. He was just following orders because, they was working together. Right?
Yep.
Those three viewers we lost are now down to you. Um, Cause now, like I said, it might be, that's the only thing I could think of. It could be the crystal entity, because we really don't have no proof of the crystal entity. And last year, we did take on the crystal entity and got that crystal entity stuff on the crystal entity. And usually, summertime, now I would not be surprised. I'm actually going to make a speculation right now, ladies and gentlemen. I would not be surprised since this is only going to run that one arena event that's going on right now, only run to this whole weekend. Usually, summertime, they do bring the near event. Now, they split it back and forth. Sometimes it's the near event when the thing's summer event starting. Other times it's the crystal energy event. And then they'll flip it where at the summer event's ending, you'll have the other one. So you have the crystal energy event at first, then the summer event, and then followed by the other one. So usually they flip them. I would not be surprised when the crystal entity comes back that we'll see another one of these blogs, and somehow, some way, we get more info. And like me and Eric been talking, we really don't have any info on how. In fact, I'll go over. So right there, as you can see, crystalline entity catastrophe events, which is a good one. That's where you get a lot of your, fleet marks and whatever whatnots. But it doesn't go into details on how the crystal entity, became what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, there's that possibility. It's at the moment I'm kind of thinking it's kind of a toss up. It could be a species we haven't met, or it could be something we haven't thought of, or something we have thought of, like the Mirror Universe folks, or something like that. Or it could be this thing with the crystalline entity, but even then what we need is we need more featured episodes, and we need more blogs. Once we have a few more clues, you and I'll be able to put things together a little better and see if we can figure out maybe what's happening,
Yeah.
because
And
we've
I'll be
already learned
surprised
quite
by
a bit.
summertime. We'll get some more info by summertime.
Well, definitely. Well, I mean, they'll probably be cranking out a new episode in the next couple of weeks, hopefully.
Yeah. Now, I did check. Now, so thought what I had read on the forums. Now, we're not going to be getting no more. Right now, K13's the new one right now.
No, I'm talking about featured episodes. I'm not talking about fleet
Ah,
holdings.
okay, yeah.
We're definitely getting more featured episodes because otherwise it wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah.
We're
Now
at
you
more
see right
featured
here, I did,
episodes with
ladies and gentlemen.
cool
Come
words.
down it, not down it. I totally skipped it. Did everything else. So you see, I'm not even there yet. They're all little 60s. So I'm gonna have to push through and I have to get working on it, sir. Yeah, 'cause he needs a lot of work. I couldn't have stopped working on him and started grinding on Jimmy Jr. and then the Toss character and all the other ones.
All
So
right, Jimmy.
he's
We're
still
coming up
pushing
on
through.
about 40 minutes now. So if we want
Yeah.
to wrap it up, we can go
Yeah,
ahead and
right.
do
Well, like
that.
I said, that's, interesting read. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
reading it. Did a job reading it, didn't he? I was just, redneck mess it up. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up with everything else. Later on, I will be uploading the results of that battle match. But like I said, if you're interested, come back tomorrow. Me, Aaron, Brian, Drain, we're all going to be getting together as template class SAS lead and going to try to do the match. Brian's already got some ideas on how to do it. Try to do at least get up to level 70, which going to have the final accolade and the final narc, just everything else and all. But it's only for this weekend. So you've got.
You've got today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's it.
Yeah, there it is. From February 23rd, 12 p.m. to February 23rd
My
in
suggestion
Saturday.
is get it done by Sunday.
Yep. And you have to do level 60, as you can see
And
there.
if it's popular, maybe they'll be nice and give it back to us every now and then, like they do with the other events.
Yeah. Well, the way I'm understanding, that's what it is. It's basically a test to see how popular it is to everything else. And it's sad, then it's going to start coming back like the Narrow did and some of the others.
Right. So I mean, there were some events that they used to use that, or some like STFs and things that they use that they just sort of, no one ever really did them. So
No.
like the Gekle feeding grounds, I never got to use that.
No. Well, the other one I
No one
used to
ever.
do, there was quite a few of them in here.
Oh yeah. Or is the minor one, or is that STF still around?
Yeah, it's still going. That 191, it's still going.
Mine Trap. Yeah.
There it is. Niners of then Incendibility. That's still going.
No, that's different.
Which one
No,
are you talking about?
I'm talking about the one with the salt vampires in it.
Oh, yeah, that's still going. They're not accused of it anymore. And then like Dog Hunt. I love doing Dog Hunt. That was fun. But nobody accused of the Dog Hunt anymore.
Yeah, Bug Hunt's pretty great.
And then Colony Evasion. I mean, I was a crow in Colony Evasion, but nobody accused of it anymore.
Yeah.
And that's, if you look, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's killing the game. Granted, this game's got a lot to do, but there's a lot of people who don't care to the stories, who don't care to the leveling up or the grinding. They just want to get a next level and then do these all day long. So when you got all of these that are dead, granted, that turns off a lot of people. That just turns them off.
There's some great storyline though, man. I really can't wait to see what's coming up. But Jimmy, we should probably wrap it up. Call it an evening
like
here.
here's not everyone. Well, you really got to meet the Door Queen and really dance with her into the hive.
I never did that one.
It took me like 10 tries. Got a bunch of people at the 300. The Tinkley wasn't around at the time. It was only us, the SAS, the 300. We finally figured out the mechanic and was able to do it. And was able to go in there and just basically kick her butt and throw it to the curve like she needs today. But nobody keeps it in the hide anymore.
Is Zenkethy front of ground or a space?
Zinketki? Well, both of them are space ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that gravity kill, and you see, That's a brand new one right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is a brand new one. Nobody's queuing
It's
for it.
also it's also late in the day.
Yeah, true. Okay, there's that one. The Tenskowski front, as you can see, after it's queuing up to that, the some people did queue up to the gravity kills that nobody's doing yet. And it's not really that hard. You just gotta stay out of this center area, or that's otherwise the center area is basically a gigantic black hole that sucks and kills you. That
All right,
nobody's
Jimmy, we're
queuing it
at
because it's too
45
hard.
minutes. We gotta call it, buddy.
Yep. So we're gonna call it. I need to, get the editing and get this other thing uploaded. So thank you for watching. Oh, I've got 3 followers or 3 watchers. Hello, welcome to the stream. The world about to end the stream. Sorry, Aaron.
Comply.
Yep. And see everybody later. And like I said, come back tomorrow. You're seeing a live stream with us in the 10th plate, figuring out the new battles there and the new granite that only to this weekend. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Good night.